Do you have trouble with motivation? I do. It's sometimes hard to get up in the morning and get going. I actually don't drink coffee, just never got into it, stayed away from it. A lot of people need coffee just to get going in the morning. And what does that really say about your life or what you're doing if you need to push yourself, you need to push yourself out of bed, you need to drink stimulants like caffeine to get the energy to do what you're going to do that day? What does that say about your life? Now, obviously there is a physical health element to it, meaning getting enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, and exercising. That's going to affect obviously your energy levels and productivity, and not just physical energy levels, but mental as well. But this video, I want to talk more about the mental and emotional aspects of being motivated, having energy, and accomplishing things versus physical could be another video. But mental and emotional part, there is this, I don't know, general idea perhaps that if we had enough money, if we were rich, then we wouldn't work at all, right? We just chill. And I think that is a fallacy. It's not true. And the reason for that is that we evolved in tribes where you had to carry your weight, or the tribe would leave you out in the desert or the jungle or the forest and you die. So meaning you have to contribute to the tribe or you're going to die. And so it's evolution baked it into us. We're instinctually driven to contribute to the tribe by doing something valuable to others. Otherwise, we're going to die. And that's what it is on an instinctual level. So I actually don't believe that people can be happy without doing something of value that's contributing to the tribe. And the tribe in modern times just meaning other people. Somehow you're doing something that's helping other people in some way. It's contributing to their lives. And to me, that is the key to happiness, because it is the key to survival. And we are wired to survive, meaning we are wired to feel good when we are doing things that will help us survive. So that is how the body works. And so that is why I believe that we are wired to work in some way, meaning to be doing something, creating something of value for other people. And I think that in the modern times, a lot of people are either not doing that at all, or they're not, at least not connected to the value they're creating. Meaning somebody perhaps is creating something, they're working on something on their computer and then it goes somewhere else and blah, 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 or they're working in a factory and they're helping make something, but the actual end product getting to the consumer is not, they don't see it. They're not part of that process. They're somewhere in the factory or the back end or writing copy or something, and they don't perhaps intake the reaction from other people. They don't see that it's contributing value. So that's, I think, one issue, is that in big operations of any kind, companies or what have you, you're not seeing the fruits of your labor or the effects that it has on other people. And for example, I was a screenwriter in the film industry, and the movie that I wrote and directed, it's on Amazon Prime, it's on Apple TV, and hundreds of thousands of people have watched it on Amazon Prime, but I'm not seeing them watch it. I'm not feeling the value that it's giving to them because I'm not seeing them watch it. And when the movie went to film festivals before it came out on Amazon, I did sit there with a live audience and I saw the effect of it on them and saw people laughing. It's a comedy. Saw people laughing, saw people crying at the emotional parts. And in that experience, then I was seeing the value that it contributes to other people, that the effect it has on other people. And so that I felt more valuable in that moment and more like I was contributing to the tribe. Whereas, okay, I see on Amazon, we get the number. First of all, they don't give us many numbers, but they at least tell us how many minutes have been watched. So I can see that people are watching it, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the effect. So you get the idea. But so I think that's one big issue just with modern society, the internet, technology. This video, I'll be able to see if anyone watched it and how long, or like the average watch time and all that. But I can't really see the effect or the contribution it might have to other people. For all I know, somebody watching it is just they left their YouTube on, and somehow it just came on automatically, and they're not even watching it or something. You know what I mean? Like, can't really tell the effect. So on that note, if you are watching this or any of my videos and you get value, please leave a comment and let me know, just so I could feel that I've contributed to your life in some way. That would be meaningful. So I think that's one big issue in modern society, that the disconnect between people's work or action and the receiving of it, whatever that end product is, or end service, or art, even a movie or content online. So that's one big issue. I think another big issue is that the modern business, where it's designed to make money, and it's not necessarily it doesn't necessarily have the consumer, their best interests in mind. It has the consumer, or the customers, it has how do we get them to spend money is the question, not necessarily how do we make their lives better overall, right? And obvious examples are Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's, Burger King, all these fast food chains or soda companies or whatever that are just selling poison. They're just poisoning people. That is, look up the ingredients and then just Google the effects of those ingredients on humans if you don't believe me. But so they're just selling poison. So their whole, so you have these huge corporations, right? They're designed as just, how do we get somebody to spend money? How do we put addictive chemicals in this poison drink or food so that people keep eating it? And then you have just all the people that are working for these huge corporations. So they're not actually contributing value to the tribe. And I think that a lot of people can feel that just on a instinctual level, even if they're not consciously thinking. If they're just thinking, I go to my job, I have a job, I make money, I'm taking care of my family, so I'm doing good stuff. But I think there's on a deeper level, they don't feel good about what they're doing. They just don't necessarily realize why. And so I think you can see that in a lot of sectors. Look at the law industry, the finance industry. So much of that is not actually contributing to humanity. It's all designed to make money. It had so many court cases, so many financial services. It's all about just making money for the people that are doing it, not the actual customer or client. And so it's not really benefiting the tribe or society. It's just putting money in certain people's pockets. And I think even those people are unhappy on a deeper level because they just can feel that. They can feel that they're not contributing, even if they don't think it, right? They think that they're doing the right thing. And that's why you find a lot of rich people, it's a cliche, right? That a lot of rich people are unhappy because they thought that the money would bring them happiness, and they did not contribute value to the tribe, to other people. And so they actually are not happy, because what makes people happy is when they're contributing and they're valuable to the tribe, because then they're going to survive. So that's another problem, is that just the modern, economy and system just being focused on making money as opposed to making actually the tribe's life better, the people's lives better. And then people are just sensing that at a sexual level. And so that's why it's hard to get up and go to work in the morning. You have an alarm that's got to wake you up. You got to drink coffee to get you going. Got to drink more coffee to keep you going through the day. You got to take sleep medication to sleep at night, because it's hard to sleep when you're instinctually think you're going to die because you're not contributing value to the tribe. And this sounds perhaps extreme because people are not thinking this. They're not thinking, I'm going to die. It's not a conscious thought. It's just an instinctual thing of, might affect my survival, right? Because I'm not contributing value to the tribe. So I think that's another major issue that's affecting people's motivation and happiness, general well-being. Another one is the amount of distraction, the amount of stimulation, I think is a better idea, is a better word, that causes distraction because it's so stimulating. But I'm talking about, of course, social media, smartphone apps, video games, all this kind of stuff that is programmed to stimulate your, basically all your systems, your eyes, your brain, your nervous system, so that you are addicted, so that it's so stimulating that you want to keep doing it and you stay doing it, right? And this is being designed by scientists to do this to you. The social media companies, the video game companies, Marvel movies, right? Even movies now. This didn't used to be the case, but now like Marvel movies, what they do is they'll make a version of the movie, they'll bring a test audience, and then now this is a classic practice to bring in a test audience and to see an early version of the film. But traditionally what was done was they would then just give out surveys, like these cards with questions to the audience, and they would write their opinion, and that's how they would do these test screenings. But now, like Marvel, what they do is they'll bring in the test audience and they'll hook up all these sensors, those little suction cup things, all these sensors to the audience's body so that it measures all their body's reactions, right? Like when they get excited, when they get bored, right? When they get overstimulated. And so then they're measuring them throughout the movie, and then they'll take all the data and then they'll rewrite and reshoot and re-edit the movie so that it's perfectly tailored to keep people stimulated, give them a break when they need it, then stimulate them again and not overstimulate, and keep them on this roller coaster ride throughout the whole movie. And the Marvel movies, for example, are great fun. They're like a roller coaster ride, like amazing fun. I always enjoy watching them, but then they're over and I forget them immediately. And I don't usually forget, or I didn't used to forget movies, like older movies. I didn't forget them. I still remember them now. But like movies like Marvel movies, I forget them immediately because they are just this roller coaster ride. They're just programmed to stimulate you while you're there, so you watch the whole thing and have a good time. And it's the same thing with TikTok and everything online. So the point is that this stuff is keeping you in this stimulated state for a long period of time, right? People are spending a long period of time on TikTok or a lot of social media apps. And same thing with the movies. And if you look at the times of movies, right? Marvel movies are like 2.5 hours a lot. They're much longer than sort of action movies used to be. And that's intentional, right? They want to keep you watching them for longer. And so the point is that all this stuff is keeping you in a place where you're not creating, you're not adding value to the tribe. You're just sitting there being hypnotized. Hypnotized? No, hypnotized. You're being hypnotized by the phone, the social media, the videos, the movies, whatever the case may be. And you're just sitting there in a hypnotized state, and you're not contributing value to the tribe. You're not creating anything that's adding value to other people's lives. And this breeds, like I was saying, more unhappiness and more fear that you're going to die on an instinctual level. And so people are becoming more and more unhappy, scared, and that's another big factor, is because they're just spending all this time being in a hypnotized state, just consuming content of some kind and not contributing value to the tribe. I think that's a good place to wrap up here, is that ultimately I was starting with motivation because people, I find, including myself, have trouble with motivation. And I'm picking apart what I see as the bigger causes of this lack of motivation. And so that was the idea of this video, and going through the different aspects of it, which were people are, separated from the effects of what they're doing because of technology, internet, factories, all that. So you don't really see the effect of your work on other people. And so you don't feel like you're being valuable because you don't really see it. And And then the other one was that the way the modern capitalist economy has been designed and is now functioning is so tailored on just making money that a lot of it is not actually contributing value to the tribe. It's actually quite destructive in a lot of cases, such as in the case of Coke, Pepsi, fast food. So all that is just very destructive to the tribe, to humans. And so this is the people that are, obviously tons of people are working in these companies, and I think that's causing more unhappiness because they can feel that they're not actually adding value. They're actually hurting people. Humans, you can sense that on an instinctual level. And so there's that. And then the last one, I was talking about how we are being kept in these hypnotized states for a long time through on the internet, social media, smartphones, and even movies now. And that is preventing us from actually creating and adding value because we're spending all our time just consuming in this hypnotized state. Message that I would like to give or inspire people is to focus on creating something of value and find a way to give it to other people where you can see the effects. So even if you're doing something on the internet, obviously try to get feedback from people on the internet, but also maybe try to do something in person live or send out some kind of survey to get people's responses or do some kind of live virtual thing online, et cetera, et cetera. It all depends what you're doing. But for me, for example, I do live comedy improv here in Bali, and that is a way where I see an immediate reaction. If people laugh, then I'm adding some value to their lives. I'm contributing something. I'm making them feel good, happy. And so then I can see it in real time, even though there's no money in that. That's just right for fun. But I get to see an effect, whereas I put something on the internet, I don't really see if people are getting affected by it unless they leave me a comment. Please leave me a comment if you're still watching. And so point is to try to do something where you can see the effect that you're having on other people, even if it's just a couple people, because it will be more meaningful to you than your mind thinks, because you can feel it. You'll feel it on a deeper level. And then if you are working for a company that is actually destructive and not adding value, such as a Coke, such as a McDonald's, one of those, see if you can get a different job. Frankly, obviously, do what you do to survive and take care of your family. Yes, of course. I'm not saying quit and end up on the street. Please don't. But if you can shift to a job which is part of something that's creating value for other people, you will be happier. Just period. And try it. You'll see. And then the last is, of course, spend less time being hypnotized. Obviously, if you're watching this, I'm saying this to you through a social media app, YouTube. So there's a little bit of a perhaps hypocrisy there. But hopefully I'm inspiring you to spend less time hypnotized, spend less time watching TikTok or whatever, and spend more time creating something that can benefit someone else's life, even if it's just to make them laugh or to make them feel seen or heard. Just spending time with people in real time where you're not on your phone, where you're actually present, put the phone in the other room and actually make people feel seen and heard. That is adding a lot of value to their lives. And that will feel, at the end of the day, you'll feel a lot better if you do that than if you just spent the whole day doing this, watching TikToks or whatever. So that's it for this video, and tune back in tomorrow for another one. Thanks for watching. Bye.